The story of Crazy Joe was torn from yesterday's headlines, and it's as terrifying as tomorrow's.
Good morning, Megapublics. It's Crazy Joe and that guy, it's... Where'd he go?
I'm over here now.
We're at the Regal, and this is a little weird.
The Regal Beagle.
The Regal, no, not the
Let's
Regal
see
Beagle.
if Jack Tripper's in there.
Jack Tripper, Larry.
Larry.
Yeah. We got invited to some kind of press event for tonight. We had to RSVP to go to a press event. We don't really know what it is, but we're going to check it out.
We are going to check it out. In there. The Regal Beagle.
In the Regal Beagle.
Yep.
Come on, let's go knock on the door.
Come and knock on our door.
They've been waiting for us.
Get some free food for me.
Let's go.
This is the song, walking into the Regal Cinema. This is the song, we're gonna walk through the doors.
You haven't been here yet, so you have no idea. They turned this into the grid from Tron.
Oh my gosh. Face coverings are optional. Vaccinated guests. I'm going to opt to wear my mask.
Mask Crusader. All right, I gotta put my mask on.
So much neon.
What do you?
So much neon. That's a lot of neon.
Greetings, program.
End of line.
Do you feel like you're in Tron
It
now?
looks like I'm in Tron.
Wait, there's a bit coming. You can only talk in positive and negative.
No.
So there's a catered buffet today. Dave is...
Cheesesteaks. It's like cheesesteaks
Oh.
that have been shrunk down. Look at how...
I shrunk the cheesesteaks. Dave is making himself right at home there with the buffet, and I'm about to do the same. Everything you've got is mini. Mini chicken, mini eclair, mini cheesesteak. This is like...
Mini strawberry.
Well, I think that's a regular size strawberry. Unless if you get like giant strawberries.
What if I go like this and I pretend like I'm like it's smaller? Is it working?
Well, that works. Yeah, that perspective works. Standing in front of the movie posters here, heavily promoting The Protege right now. I muted the audio here because there was a trailer playing quite loud on the screen, but they were demonstrating the new recliner chairs that have been installed in 5 different auditoriums. They look quite comfortable.
Great example of what we're trying to do with a lot of our theaters, where you've got multiple formats. So you can come in, you can see a movie in 2D, you can see it in the recliner auditorium, you can see it in 3D. We've also got IMAX. We've got 40X that you guys will be experiencing tonight with Free Guy, which is your motion seats. We've got ScreenX, which is where the movie pops up on the sidewalls. So you actually have 270 degrees of screen. So it really immerses you in the product. We'll see that here in a second. And then we also have our own Regal Premium Experience, which is the biggest auditorium in this theater. Seats around 300, and it's got the best in sight and sound in there, and also has what we call butt kicker technology. So it's got vibrations underneath your seat that are plugged into each seat. So each of those, high action scenes, you'll also feel it in your chair on top of it.
Okay.
It looks like I'm doing a shot, but thank you very much. Now, what flavor
How's the smoothie?
That's good. It's really good. That'll wake you up.
So I mentioned ScreenX at 270 degrees. What we're going to go see in here is probably my favorite movie that's been in ScreenX, and that is Bohemian Rhapsody. As you can imagine, that final scene, imagine you're sitting in a concert and it's 270 degrees. It feels like you got people on the right and left of you watching the exact same concert. So here we are with ScreenX technology.
I've been curious about ScreenX.
ScreenX, seeing Black Widow is pretty awesome.
Yes.
Those action scenes in ScreenX are to die for.
Do they have to film the movies different to?
Nope. So 40X and ScreenX are actually owned by the same company. It's CJ 40plex that we've gone into partnership. By the end of it, we're going to have roughly 80 locations of each in some of our auditoriums.
What we're looking at here is a demonstration of the Screen X process. A Screen X movie will have images projected on the sides of the walls as well to make you have a feeling that you're completely surrounded. I've turned the audio off here so we don't get dinged for copyrighted music because this is from the movie Bohemian Rhapsody. But I've never seen a movie in Screen X before, and I've always been a little curious about it. So I was very interested in this demonstration. I don't know if I'd want to see a movie in this format the first time I see a film because it might be a little distracting the first time when you're trying to take in all the small details. But I wouldn't mind checking out a movie that I've already seen in this format just to get a different perspective on things. All in all, it's pretty neat, and I kind of dig it. I think I would want to see a little bit more of this. I don't know. There you go. Screen X. That's the name of this process.
Here we are at 40X.
It's the 40X theater.
And then that's when I was.
So we won't have anything on screen.
Yeah, it's like
here.
the-
Again, until about 10 minutes whenever we come in.
The machines make that smell.
Policy
The
trailer.
green
So
machines and
you've seen a movie here
machines and-
before, you know the Regal policy trailer with the roller coaster?
Yeah.
That's built to the seat, so you'll get the seats moving with the roller coaster. We've also got their policy trailer, which again, it'll showcase all the different elements. And if you look up around you, you can see fans. You can see where there's wind that's gonna come out. You've got water within the seats. You've got these that go down. You've got little ticklers that hit you along with the motion seats. It really is the most immersive experience you're gonna have seeing a movie. I can't wait for you guys to experience it.
Very excited. This has been a great experience. I appreciate
Well, again,
that.
these are differentiators. You know, this
Yeah.
is something nobody has at their house. You
Yeah.
can't see a movie in 40X. You can't see a movie in Screen X. That, you know, these are different opportunities for you to come out. But for me, the big thing is coming out and seeing it with a bunch of people
Oh, yeah.
and having that communal experience, which again, you can't have at home when watching a movie on your own screen.
You know, you mentioned the roller coaster. I had a girlfriend years ago who, in a regular 2D movie with
Hands up.
non-moving seats, she'd have to close her eyes
Oh,
because
really?
of her motion sickness.
Well, she couldn't do this one.
I always
No.
had the person in front of me that liked to put their arms up and just play with the whole back and forth, which again, with these seats, you'll really feel that. So let's go check. If you guys want to go grab something else to eat, again, popcorn and drink. If you don't have one yet, go on and grab one. And then we'll visit back in here if you want to head back, and we'll get things started in here. And get
we'll also
All
be
right.
at 40,
Yep, this will be where we're screening here in about 10-15 minutes.
We just took a tour, saw all the new upgrades, everything this theater now has to offer. And now we're invited to a 4DX screening of Free Guy. So now we're going to watch Free Guy in 4DX. It's been a pretty cool experience. Okay, we had a tour. We saw all the upgrades. We saw Screen X. It's behind us, the poster. We saw that in
Mini
action.
cheesesteaks.
Yeah, we had mini cheesesteaks. We had chicken skewers. We had... it was a nice event, right?
Well, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Theater's gorgeous.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
Yeah, it's like the Matrix farted in your face.
See, I went Tron. I thought it looked very Tron.
It is Tron, with all the screens
Yeah.
going, it's like,
Speaking of Tron,
Yeah.
I already did a review of Free Guy. We just saw Free Guy.
saw Free Guy.
It's a very similar plot to Tron, isn't it?
It has, you know what it also reminds me? It's got a Ready Player One vibe to it, but if like, I feel like better, like done better than the actual execution of Ready Player One.
But you didn't like Ready Player One?
My problem was with the in-screen character things. I didn't like the way that looked in Ready Player One. That's not how I imagined when you read the book, that's what they were kind of talking about. It looked very fake, while the in-screen parts of this seemed more I feel that's what I get with that. You know what I mean?
But I mean,
but other than that,
specifically the plot of the movie.
yeah.
A villain stole the code of the game. They have to go into the
You're
game.
gonna ruin the whole plot.
Well, I mean,
Gosh,
I'm not
just
giving
ruining the whole thing.
I'm not giving the ending away. I'm not
Gosh,
telling
you told
about
the ending too.
I didn't tell
What's
the ending.
wrong with you?
I didn't tell the
Oh my
ending.
God!
I didn't tell
It's
about
his
the
father the whole
I didn't tell
time.
that when Godzilla showed up, or when they had to play that basketball game against Mike Schmidt. Yeah. See, that's what happens when I have to name a sports celebrity. I go 80s. So anyway,
Like a dick too.
so what did you think of 4DX? I've seen 4DX before.
Okay, so I got a lot of thoughts on this. First of all, so before we get to the 4DX, we saw the ScreenX thing, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know. I feel like what was the other thing? The other theater, they have IMAX, they have the ScreenX, they have the
RPX.
RPX. I feel like personally, these are all kind of gimmicky things.
Yeah.
As a movie fan, I just like to go see a 2D movie on a nice screen with good sound and not somebody talking behind me. That's my personal preference. All these are gimmicks, in my opinion. I feel like all these things take away from the actual movie, like watching the movie. A lot of people put a lot of effort and energy into making a movie, and then they have things like the really loud sound, or it wraps around on the side when it wasn't actually filmed for that. So maybe going to see it on a second viewing is probably how I would approach these things. I don't know about going to see a movie for the first time. I feel it's distracting.
I have not seen a movie in ScreenX yet. This display they gave us a ScreenX is the first I've seen it. I thought that was kind of cool. Again, a second, third viewing, like the first viewing, I don't think I'd want to be distracted. I'd want to really just take in the movie. But I would watch a movie in ScreenX.
ScreenX reminds me of not as well executed version of like when you go down to Disney and you see like Oh Canada, where
like circle vision.
It's like, it reminds me of like that, where you're looking all around and you don't know what to focus on.
Right.
And the sides of the screen, the picture quality is like muted because it's not being projected onto a screen. It's kind of being projected onto the
I think
walls.
I definitely agree it's a gimmick, but I think it's a pretty neat gimmick. Like, I mean, I think I'd watch a movie like that. Probably not first viewing, but I'd watch a movie like that.
Yeah, I don't think any of these would go in first viewing knowing what these things, like now that we did the 4DX, which is the first time I've ever done that, and you've done it before.
Yeah.
That one to me is like, first of all, they got to like put a warning on it. I mean, like you're getting thrown around.
You can't have motion sickness and go to 4DX.
No, they got it. Yeah, I mean, there's no way that you could sit in that free guy. It's like if you sat and if you've ever been on Star Tours and you said to yourself, oh, what would Star Tours be like if it was 2 hours long?
And move faster.
And there was smoke.
Yeah.
So I don't, like, after a while, you'd probably start getting sick of it, which I kind of felt like, at first, I mean, just from the get-go, you're like, oh my gosh, what's going on? You're getting thrown all around. And I was like, oh, maybe if it was like a more tame movie, like Remains of the Day and 4DX, like where nothing happens, but this was not Remains of the Day.
I see.
I felt dizzy at one point. Like
I almost fell out of my chair at one point. It almost actually literally threw me from the chair.
There was some older people that went to go see that. Now, I mean, first of all, the one guy was really old who was in there. They might have checked the theater to make sure he's not dead, because he could have gotten totally thrown out of the chair. He might be like a couple rows ahead.
Oh yeah,
just lying there going like Hans Moleman, somebody help me. And on top of that, I don't even know if he would understand what was going on in that movie, but maybe he's into Fortnite. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the 4DX is pretty neat. That's not going to be my chosen way to see a movie, but like every now and then for a novelty.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd go intentionally after seeing that, like, because they say there's like water effects and supposed to be smells.
Yeah, we didn't have any water effects in that one.
But I feel like they were doing it a little. But even when they did it at the beginning to show you, I didn't experience any. Did you get any?
Not this time.
Yeah.
I know I definitely got a little wet when I saw Rambo 5 in here.
Well, that's because Stallone is super hot.
Yeah, well, there you go. I kind of want to bring my daughter to see this. I think Jackie would enjoy a 4DX. Christine? She would not. She gets motion sickness. Yeah. That is not for her. But yeah. I
mean, you really get thrown around.
Oh no, you do. I mean, this one was more the last movie I saw in 4DX was Gremlins.
Yeah.
And I mean, Gremlins isn't an action movie, so they didn't jostle you this much. This one, man, the car chases and everything, it was like you were being thrown about.
This is like being in a Slipknot mosh pit or something.
But in any event, I do think this was a really cool event to show off the theater and everything they've done to it. It was a really nice.
Yeah, I mean the theater is gorgeous. I mean it is. I just to me it worries me a little bit. It's like you spent a ton of money on upgrading this theater, and then this theater seems to need to have crowds that would have been pre-pandemic, even like crowds 15, 20 years ago when theaters I felt like were packed, and you don't ever see that even pre-pandemic. I don't think you really saw.
That's not true though, because 2019, don't forget 2019 was like a record year for movies. They made like more billion-dollar movies in 2019 than ever before.
Money, yeah, but I don't know. Is that because the ticket price was so, or was it because there was more theaters that have multiple, like theater? Like you got to remember, at the dawn of the multiplex, there wasn't as many multiplexes. Like I worked at a theater, and Friday, Saturday night, all 10 theaters would sell out. I don't remember ever seeing that, like hardly ever anymore. You know, that's like a rare occurrence where every single.
I think that's also because they always put the big movies on multiple screens, though. Like you'll look now, and Avengers opens, and every 15 minutes there's a Showtime. So
yeah, so it's a different environment than what it was, 20 years ago. So to put this much money into a theater, hopefully it works out because, personally, I love going to the movies, and I do appreciate the fact that you can come to a theater like this, and if you want to see a 3D, you can see a 3D. If you want to see it in IMAX, you can see it in IMAX. If you want to get shaken out of your seat, you can do that. If you want to see Freddie Mercury's teeth on the sides of the screen, you can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's options at least. But you need a theater that has a ton of theaters to be able to do that, to accommodate that.
Yeah.
But then they also have, at this theater, they have the games, which is cool.
Yeah, they took a whole, when they did the remodel, they took a whole theater out. Like one whole theater came out and became the game room. Mm-hmm. So, because they used to have a couple arcade games like in the lobby, and now it's like they have like ticket prizes. It's like a Chuck E. Cheese in there. They got like ticket prizes and everything.
Yeah.
Like you can.
Yeah.
So
that's a lot of people to staff then too. You got to have somebody working the ticket thing. You got to have the concession. They got a bar. They got a smoothie place, and they got a coffee shop in there. They got a lot of places that now have to have somebody staffing it, which is a huge undertaking too.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I've been saying all along, I think that we're going to be seeing, and we're starting to see it. Movies are doing better like this month, and the next month we'll get one that does just a little better, and then the next month done. So I think they're coming back as more people get vaccinated. People want to get out of their houses.
But you got to wonder, like with something like that 4DX, is that long term? Are they going to be are people going to keep going to movies like that?
Well, if not, I mean,
money? The movie theater's got to be super expensive to maintain for maintenance. Seriously, you're getting the seats alone probably cost a fortune to do that.
Well, I mean, could you show a regular movie in there and just not turn the motion on?
I'm sure you could, but then the seats aren't as comfortable when you think about it compared to like the recliner seats, which are super comfortable.
Yeah, the recliner seats are the most comfortable seats.
I kind of missed that. That was one thing I know we were seeing it because it was showing off the theater, but like I kind of miss like when the parts that aren't the action and it's not doing the gimmick and you're sitting there and you're like, I kind of want to just, lean back.
Right.
But you don't have that option. Literally your food and drink could be thrown out of your hand. I mean, maybe it was the movie we saw, because like you said, you saw other ones. I think it needs to just come down a little bit.
I think that maybe the motion needs to be dialed down, like just maybe jostle you a little. It is, and I think they need to the smoke effects.
Yeah, the smoke effects is
because the smoke effects are cool, but then the smoke lingers.
But it's also. I don't even think it was cool because it's kind of a weird thing because it's not near you. It's just in the front of the screen. So it's almost like somebody's doing bong rips and they're in the front row. Like, to me, it didn't make a lot. Like, if it was like...
You know what I'd like to see that? They got to show John Carpenter's The Fog and then have that fog come up. That would be cool.
Yeah. See, there it would work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's supposed to be like smell-o-vision, but I didn't get any of that.
Yeah, no, I did smell the fog machine, though.
Yeah, you can.
Fog machines have a distinct smell. I know because I have one. I put one out at Halloween. So.
Yeah, you should put it out all the time.
Yeah, I should.
Fog machine. Yeah.
Well, there you go. This was the Regal press event showing off the upgrades to the Warrington Theater. They're doing this, they said, in many cities.
Yeah.
He mentioned Atlanta. He mentioned, I think, did he say Knoxville?
In Irvine, California.
Irvine. So yeah, this kind of an upgrade is coming to a bunch of Regal Cinemas. And if you live in one of those cities, who knows? Maybe they'll have an event like this and invite you out to check it out.
Yeah, it is an experience. It definitely is an experience. Like I said, you're going in, like especially the 40X. It's like you're going on a very long thrill ride.
Yeah. If you don't like rides, if you go to Disney World and are like, I don't know if Star Tours is for me.
Yeah.
You don't want 40X.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. If you live for that, yeah, you can probably do.
Yeah. I mean, because I think I slipped at this.
All right, everybody. Thank you to Regal for inviting us out. We appreciate it. We had a good time. And everybody keep wearing those pajamas. Damn you, Grover Cleveland.
Keep wearing those pajamas with the plastic feet. Keep wearing those pajamas. Tell everyone you meet. Keep wearing those pajamas with the back door flap. Keep wearing those pajamas. Don't open, it's a trap. Oh no, it's a trap. Some people call them PJs, some people call them jammies. They can come embroidered with big money and no whammies. They can have 100 tiny commander and damas, but no matter how they look, just keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now we're having fun. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now the song is done.